This is the Art of Metal Gear Solid. This book came out in 1999. This has a plastic cover. Out of the art books I own from the Metal Gear series, this one is my favorite so far. One reason is some of the pages have silver ink on them, and it looks very cool. The main reason, though, I love this art book is because it's fully translated into English. Back then, imported books from Japan almost never came out in English. So to be able to read Yoji Shinkawa's thoughts on his artwork was very, very amusing. Again with the silver. This book also includes some monochrome images. It's funny, for a PlayStation 1 game, there was so much concept art for it. And the end is an interview between Yoji Shinkawa and Yoshitaka Amano, who is very well known for his Final Fantasy art books. This is the MGS art book that came with the premium package edition in Japan. It's got the shiniest cover I've ever seen. So it's best I don't read this out in the sunlight. This is more of a staff book than a full-out art book. There are a lot of interviews. And this book includes a fold-out poster, which sweetly chronicles the entire MGS game over 3 pages through screenshots. The Art of Metal Gear Solid 2. Just like the first Metal Gear art book, there is plastic on the front. With the inclusion of the new character Raiden, this book has a bit more of a pretty boy art type of flair to it. It's kind of funny though, because Yoji Shinkawa actually says that drawing younger characters is difficult for him. This book contains a little bit more monochrome images compared to the first MGS book. This is a Metal Gear Solid 2 book. This was a promotional item for the premium package edition from Japan. Just like the first Metal Gear premium book, it's got a very shiny silver cover. This is the Metal Gear Solid 3 book called The Countdown. This book came out in Japan just before MGS3 was to be released. I like this book because it has a nice old school feel with the brown pages and to the burned edges. It's one of the most unique layouts I've seen with these books. Now, seeing as this is more of a promotional book than an actual art book, there is less art and more information about what would show up in the game. Here we are with Hideo. It's pretty cool to see him since he doesn't show up in the other art books. Here is the premium package art book that came with Metal Gear Solid 3 in Japan. Beautiful front and back, don't you think? Luckily, the contents are much better. So this book has a lot of information, and here's Hideo again. Yoji Shinkawa. There he is. Oh, I cannot get enough of this art. There's also some nice real world references. Metal Gear Solid 4 has its own art book. I like this cover. The logos right here and over here, they're embossed, so it's actually a interesting texture as I flip through the book. This book is interesting. I've always wondered how a snake would look when he is much, much older. But of course, back when the first game came out, I wouldn't know, right? It's all pixely fun back then. So this book, much like the Peace Walker book, has a ton of CG images in it. That's not to say there is no Shinkawa art, but in comparison to the very, very first book, this one definitely has much more CG. It is an interesting contrast, though, being able to see just how advanced computer graphics have gotten since, well, way back then. Here was the North American pre-order book for MGS4. This is the only North American book I own, which is cool because the text is in English. This book is pretty much an all CG book anyway. Not so much Shinkawa artwork. But in my case, with my other books, I'm fine with that. I like reading about the makings of the games. This is the art book for MGS Peace Walker. I'm amazed at how much stuff is in a PSP game now. Old school handhelds didn't ever have CG and all this concept stuff, did they? But yes, there is actually more CG in here than previous art books. There's quite a good number of backgrounds too. I love these still frames that were used in the game. At the beginning of 2011, Yoji Shinkawa had his own art gallery in Japan. I actually had no idea he had one of these until I was randomly browsing. So one thing led to another, and I got my hands on these 3 promo books. Let's take a look, shall we? Each of these art gallery books covered various series that Yoji Shinkawa had worked on, so it wasn't just limited to MGS. This first book covers MGS 2, 4, and Peace Walker. Now these were sold at the art gallery for fans, and of course it's not a full-fledged art book like the previous ones. But that's okay, because we can't get enough of this guy's art. And I love the backs here. This book covers the Zone of Enders, Godzilla Final Wars, and actual sculptures. Cool. Each volume, the exclamation changes. This is the last of the trilogy of the Art of Yoji Shinkawa books. This one is a general sketchbook covering the various series he's worked on. And with this book comes the end of my Metal Gear art book collection. I hope you enjoyed watching this video.